Skrulls are the bad guys, and you're a Kree, a race of noble warriors.
Noble warrior heroes.
We found you. We made you one of us.
You know how to fly this thing?
We'll see.
That's a yes or no question.
Yes.
Would you like to know what you really are?
I think I had a life here. What aren't you telling me?
You've come a long way, but you're not as strong as you think. This war is just the beginning.
I'm not gonna fight your war. I'm gonna end it.
Aren't you the cutest little thing? Aren't you cute? And what's your name, huh?
Fury.
What's cute? I'll be back.
Hey everybody, it's Charlie. Merry Christmas. Marvel dropped a surprise Captain Marvel trailer. I'm glad that more studios are dropping footage this week. I don't know why they don't do it more. The original Deadpool movie did a Christmas campaign a couple years ago, the 12 Days of Deadpool, and it was one of the coolest things ever. Because it's Christmas, of course there's some new giveaway stuff that'll be happening at the end of the video, but the Russos have been saying some things about Avengers Endgame that are now relevant to what's going on during the Captain Marvel movie. So I know everybody has theories about what's going on with the Skrulls and how that might spill into present day. So we gotta break it down, but I'll start with some of the stuff that's happening in this footage that we haven't addressed yet. Mostly the slightly different narrative that they're putting forward in this footage than we saw in the last trailer. Like, this is almost the same trailer, but they just move things around a little bit, and they're trying to be a little more generic about how they tell you her origin story in the amount of information they give you. So it just starts out as a more generic Annette Bening voiceover, "We remade you," and then the Skrulls telling her that this war is only the beginning, talking about the Kree-Skrull War, implying that both sides are trying to manipulate her to fight for their side, and the war, if left unchecked, will consume the universe. That's probably why she has that line of dialogue where she says, "I'm not going to fight in your war," because she could be talking to anybody. It seems like she's talking to the Skrulls, though, because it seems like based on the footage, they're trying to turn her against the Kree, like, "See, they've lied to you this whole time. We're the good people," like they're also lying to her. There have been a couple ridiculous theories that I've seen recently about how people think that the Skrulls might be the heroes of the Captain Marvel movie. That is not the case. Skrulls are very much villains. They're just trying to lie to Captain Marvel to manipulate her into thinking that they're on the good side of this. That's why Talos, the Skrull commander, has that line of dialogue during the trailer, "Do you want to know who you really are?" The reason they have her in this upside down contraption is because they're trying to extract information from her. Would the heroes really do something like that? No, they would not. So what the trailer is trying to tell you is that Captain Marvel has to choose her own path because both of these different sides are completely terrible. Like, she needs to get rid of the Skrulls, she also needs to get rid of the Kree because they're just as bad. We also got some new evidence that the cat is probably some surprise alien or something that just looks like a cat, or it's been modified in the way that, say, like Rocket has been modified. He looks like a normal raccoon, but underneath the hood, so to speak, he's completely different. So it seems like that's also what's going on with the cat, so I don't know how big of a plot point that's going to wind up being. They might just have some funny tag with it, like they had with Cosmo the dog at the end of the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie. But they wouldn't put that funny moment in the trailer with Nick Fury trying to pet it and it sort of swatting him away without them paying that joke off later in the film. Here's the thing though, talking more about Avengers Endgame. So obviously in present day, Captain Marvel, very important to the Avengers, very important to the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But the Captain Marvel movie is establishing a couple things for the very first time, most notably the presence of Skrulls, and it's sort of a tutorial for non-comic book readers as to how their powers work, what they can do, and what their ongoing role in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is going to be. Sort of a more complex replacement for characters like the Chitauri, like big space-based villain races, albeit with a little more pathos and a little more backstory. Like, you don't really get a whole lot of the Chitauri's backstory. They actually explored it a little bit in the comics, like you get to learn how Thanos started using them as his sort of go-to cannon fodder for whatever war he was trying to fight. The real value of the Skrulls in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is that they can masquerade as other characters, so you have that funny twist, like, I thought you were my friend this whole time. Like Nick Fury says, last time I trusted someone, I lost an eye. So obviously, the Captain Marvel movie won't be the last time that you ever see somebody that you care about, or someone that they get you to care about, wind up being a secret Skrull. So I think collectively we all have the theory that at least one character that we've been watching this whole time in the Avengers movies winds up being a Skrull. I've seen a couple websites trying to sell a secret invasion subplot theory during Avengers Endgame, and the reason why I don't think that they're going that far is because they're kind of already doing that during the Captain Marvel movie. You have Talos, his Skrull team, infiltrating S.H.I.E.L.D., slowly trying to take over Earth so they can use their resources in the Kree-Skrull war against the Kree. So they're already doing that during the Captain Marvel movie, why would they just completely recycle that plot during Avengers Endgame? The Russos came out recently and started talking about them closing down big character arcs from the A-list Avengers during Endgame. Like, this is the end of a big 10-year journey for a lot of these actors, so they're closing down their character arcs in really big ways. Some, sort of riding off into the sunset and retiring effectively. Some maybe sacrificing themselves, but, an effective bookend for their time in the MCU, regardless of what happens to their characters at the end of the story. So right now, for the main characters, the main A-list Avengers, I'm only expecting a couple big twists. One of them will probably sacrifice themselves in a big way. We'll see alternate versions of them, and they'll break the laws of the universe as you know them thanks to Scott Lang and his quantum energy. Those are already really big twists. Like, imagine an Avenger sacrifices himself, like, say, Captain America at the end of the story, and then it turns out he was a Skrull. That'd be a big middle finger. That's why I don't think that any of those A-list Avengers will wind up being Skrulls. So right now, my list of big characters that could be Skrulls, really, Thunderbolt Ross is at the top because he's been such an asshole and wielded so much power over the Avengers that it would be a fun payoff for the character if he turned out to be a Skrull, and it wouldn't completely break them closing down these emotional arcs for the Avengers. And it wouldn't be a big middle finger to the fans. Although I know a lot of people have been hoping for Red Hulk, I don't think that they're going to do that. Maybe if William Hurt were a lot younger and they had the rights to do an actual Hulk movie and they could build up towards a Hulk versus Red Hulk, that feels like something you do in a Hulk solo movie, but it doesn't look like they're going to release one anytime soon. There's also the idea that in present day, the Kree could help Captain Marvel provide fleet support, because I don't think that all of their major fights are going to take place on planet Earth. There'll be some sort of space battle, something that's big enough so that Captain Marvel and, say, someone like Thor can't handle it all by themselves, but it's big enough so that you get to see them, quote-unquote, Hulk out and use their full abilities. Like, there's a couple different types of fights that you have with the Avengers. So you have the up-close fights, you have the group fights, like all of them fighting Thanos together, then you have, like, the big giant battles that allow Thor to use his full abilities without worrying about collateral damage. That's one of the good things about, say, like the Wakanda battles during Infinity War, because it gives you that catharsis of them ripping those enemies to shreds and you don't really care about them. It just kind of looks cool on screen. You need to have Thor in like a really big giant battle to let him do stuff like that. So let me know, before you've seen the Captain Marvel movie, who do you think in present day winds up being a secret Skrull? And how do you think that the Kree in the Skrulls will be important to Avengers Endgame? Just remember that even though the Kree and the Skrulls were both affected by the snap, they'll still continue to be big a presence in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, particularly in space-based movies. Like I said though, it's Christmas, there's a new round of that IMAX ticket giveaway. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave your favorite Captain Marvel moment on the video. Congratulations, Marcel Isaac, you're the giveaway winner from my last big video. Please email me on the About page of my channel so I can get your details. Don't forget, Infinity War is supposed to hit Netflix, I think, today, so you could actually rewatch that as many times as you want. It's the holiday week, but I'll still be doing videos, so leave your requests in the comments below. Click here for my video on all the new Once Upon a Deadpool post-credit scenes that they added to the movie, and click here to watch Brie Larson talk about Avengers Endgame in the Captain Marvel movie. Thank you so much for watching. Merry Christmas, everyone. I'll see you guys tonight.